In this video, we're going through why it is so hard to grow on YouTube. And I am in the middle of the desert during a storm, so hopefully we have some decent audio. But I'm also gonna go through some tips on some of the things that I've done over the course of this year to make my channel double in growth in a very short amount of time. All right, let's get into it. It is like crazy beautiful out here, but with the wind, it's pretty intense. But I personally enjoy making my videos like out in nature, doing stuff like this. I've actually got a bunch of comments on some of my more recent videos where I've done YouTube training where I'm hiking and a little bit out of breath. People are complaining that I'm not sitting in a studio, but you know what? That is my brand. I'm an adventure filmmaker. I also do a lot of YouTube training. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications if you want to see more tutorials and all that good stuff. So the reason that it's so hard to grow on YouTube is not about the opportunity, because the opportunity is definitely there. There is more people signed into YouTube, like 2 billion active users per month or something ridiculous like that. But there's more people using YouTube now, and YouTube in general is becoming more and more popular. So the opportunity is there. The reason that it's so hard to grow is essentially you. And I'm not trying to like call you out, but the reason that you're not growing is you and the way that you're approaching your channel. So to understand like what you need to do, you have to first understand YouTube as in general. So let me warm it up a little bit. So let's break down YouTube first before I go into some tips that's really gonna help you actually grow your channel. So first, you have to realize what YouTube is. It's a giant search engine. So obviously you're gonna be found through search, but that's not the only way that you're found and discovered on YouTube. YouTube suggestion is much better. So if you want to get suggested by YouTube, you have to get the algorithm to actually start working for you, and you need the algorithm to start suggesting your videos. Now, something that Roberta Blake told me the other day, a light bulb went off in my head, because the way he explained how the algorithm works just makes a lot of sense, and I wanted to share this with you guys. Instead of YouTube finding an audience for your videos, what YouTube is actually doing, what this algorithm does, is it finds videos for a viewer based on that viewer's history, likes, interests, what they enjoyed watching, all of that stuff. And so when you think about it in those terms, YouTube's not going to find an audience for your video. YouTube is going to find videos for you as the viewer. So what that means for us as creators is that we need to create videos that actually are things that people want to watch. Because if you're just making videos that's on a topic that nobody wants to watch, it's not like YouTube's gonna go find an audience for that video. YouTube's gonna do is take your video, and if it satisfies a person, an audience, it's going to suggest it to them. And obviously there's a lot more that goes into this, but at its core, that's what YouTube is doing. And so if you think about YouTube in that way, what that means is you need to start thinking about what are people actually going to be watching, not who are the people that are gonna watch my videos. So when you reverse engineer what kind of topics are actually interesting for a viewer, then you're gonna start finding those things that will actually make sense for you to go out there and shoot. Okay, let me explain this 1 second further, but hold on, I just stepped on something. The desert is a dangerous place. Let me sit on this rock and explain it. So think about it this way. I do a lot of camera reviews, and on my channel, I actually really enjoy working with Olympus cameras. But there's very few people that are actually interested in Olympus cameras for video creators. So every time I make a video that's around Olympus cameras, it doesn't mean that my audience is gonna watch that and YouTube's gonna start serving that to my audience. YouTube's gonna look for an audience that actually would be interested in Olympus cameras. It's not really a whole lot of them. But for example, if I was to start making lots of videos on, say, Canon cameras or Sony cameras, there is a much bigger audience that actually cares about those cameras. And so you see people who are like Sony shooters or Canon shooters, and that's the cameras they always talk about and they always work with. They get huge, massive growth bursts around videos that actually are talking about these cameras, because there is a large audience that is interested in Canon cameras. And so when you make a video about a Canon camera, there is more opportunity for YouTube to be like, hey, these viewers like Canon cameras, and this kind of person started liking your video, so they're going to start suggesting your video to this new audience that hasn't seen you before. Now that's how you make your channel explode. So it's all about like, what do people actually care about? What do people want to watch? What's topical? What is interesting for a viewer right now? And those are the topics that you should actually start going after. You need to do things that are going to make the algorithm actually suggest your videos to more people, because you need to get more eyeballs on your videos. That's how you grow. Now, obviously you have to have good videos, you have to have good thumbnails, titles, all these different aspects that you hear about over and over again, optimization, the way that you structure your videos. Like, there's so many little things that you can do to really make your videos stand out and actually get someone to subscribe. But if you're not creating videos that the larger audience would be interested in, then you don't really have anyone to watch your videos, so you're not going to grow very fast. And this is why creators that stay topical, creators that are constantly thinking about what is popular right now and building some videos around that, those are the ones that really take off. I just found an antler out here in the middle of the desert. Interesting. Now, one of my buddies, Aldrin, he does a drone channel, Flypath. Highly suggest you check it out, especially for those of you that are into drones. But what he's been doing recently is a massive example of how this works. So he was one of the first people to get the Mavic Mini. Obviously, Mavic Mini is a very popular drone. I'm working on my review right now out here in the desert. It's a little windy to fly. He was one of the first people to get videos out. And what happened is that video was wildly popular. It's done amazing on his channel. But he didn't stop with just one video. You know that whole idea of doubling down on what works? Well, he's taken that to the extreme because he's basically constantly is actually making a series out of all this Mavic Mini interest. So he's creating different videos around the Mavic Mini in all different forms. So about flying it, about products around it, about the drone itself, reviews. And the reason that he's doing this is that this drone is wildly popular, especially with the holidays coming up. He's going to get a ton of affiliate sales off of this, so he's gonna make a lot of money off of making all these videos. But also, he's driving a ton of subscribers and a ton of growth to his channel, which is gonna pay off because once this kind of Mavic Mini hump is done and there's not as much interest, he's already grown a massive base. So the next thing he does, he's going to go through and do this again with the next drone or the next topic or anything like that. So the reason that your channel is not growing is that you are not focusing on things that are popular, things that are topical. And once you can do that, you'll start seeing some growth. Now, obviously there's more to it. You have to make good videos. Like, that is ultimately what it comes down to. If you're not making good videos, then it doesn't matter how topical you are, how good your thumbnail is, what's gonna happen is people are not gonna watch your video because you didn't make a good video. Okay, gotta warm up for a second. So let's go back to what I was saying at the beginning of this video. For me, I've had a lot of comments where people are saying like, oh, why are you out of breath? Why are you in nature? Like, why don't you have this in a studio? We don't need to see you hiking around. Well, that's part of my brand. Like I was saying, I'm an adventure filmmaker, so I like to go out in wild and shoot films. And my YouTube channel has a mix. Like, sometimes I'm in studios, but also I like to go make my films, and I like to go do things like hang out in the middle of the desert. And so part of becoming a YouTuber and actually getting people to follow you and be interested in what you're making is having an identity and having a brand. And if you go through my videos, you'll see a through line of this outdoors adventure filmmaking style of content through everything that I shoot. Now, you could be topical, you can have the best content, you can have the best titles, the best thumbnails. But if you are just a copy of a copy of a copy and doing the exact same thing that person A, person B, and person C are doing, and you have like the same background, you have like the reclaimed wood, or you have like the tech looking office, well, what's gonna happen is you're just gonna blend in. You have to really actually stand out in your way. whatever that is. Now, I can't tell you how to stand out because you have to figure out what's gonna make you stand out as a creator. Is it the type of content you create? Is it the locations that you create? Is it your energy? Are you super wild and energetic, or are you more subdued? And people like that because they come to you for that very balanced way of coming at the content that you're creating. Everyone is different. And if you're putting on a facade, if you're trying to be someone that you're not, and then you're creating content, what happens is it's just gonna fall flat. You have to be yourself, and whatever that is, I'm giving you the permission to be yourself in whatever form that is. When it comes down to it, like, you just still have to be you. And so I want you to take a step back. If you are struggling to grow your channel and you're struggling to figure out your identity, take a step back. Stop creating so much content and just take a look at what you're doing, what your overall brand is, what your message is that you're trying to portray out in the world. Actually hone in your value proposition, why you're creating, what is the ideal audience that you're creating for, and then who you are. What is your identity? And what do you want the people on the other side of the camera to get out of the videos? And what kind of impression do they want to get of you? That is like one of the most important things. People talk about charisma, they talk about the way that you're on camera, but honestly, all that boils down to, who are you? And why would someone be interested in you? And why are you different than the next creator that's doing something identical to what you're doing? There is a lot of people doing YouTube education, and there's also a lot of people doing filmmaking, photo, all of that stuff. I have my approach to it, and I've stuck with that approach over time. And for me, that's what I'm gonna keep doing because this is me. Now, who are you? The most important thing is focusing on topics that people are actually interested in and creating videos around that. Now that's how you're gonna grow this year. And it's not that difficult. You just need to figure out what works for your niche, what kind of topics are popular for the videos that you want to create, and really target those and go after it. All right guys, if you want to see more videos on how to grow your YouTube channel, I've got a playlist right here that's all about how to get your first 1,000 subscribers. If you already have those, I highly suggest you check out this other playlist, which is the biggest mistakes that YouTubers make. And I've teamed up with a ton of YouTubers to talk about our mistakes that we made starting out, and there's a ton of valuable information in those videos. All right guys, I'll see you on the next one.